What's up, guys? I'm Celia from Let's Talk Terror, and today we're keeping it close to home. And today I'm joined by Travis, otherwise known as Horror Realm, and we are talking about Maryland and Virginia horror. Let's go. And since we're both from the DMV, I thought it would be fun if we both talk about movies from our hometowns. Well, not so much our hometowns, but like our home states. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about some movies that maybe you didn't realize were based in Maryland and Virginia. Let's talk terror. All right, Travis, Horror Realm. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Virginia, Maryland
Yeah.
horror. We're doing it. We're doing things. We're representing the
The,
DMV here today. For
yes.
for those of you who don't know, the DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So it's not the Department of
Yes.
Motor Vehicles.
No,
It is, but it's not.
it
It's
is,
the
but it's not.
DMV. But before we get into this, Travis, can you introduce yourself, please?
Everyone, I am Travis Bruce. I am the host of the Horror Realm, which is a horror YouTube channel. It's a little bit about everything about horror, everything from rankings to horror convention walkthroughs to amazing interviews with indie horror creators, as well as we also have the paranormal experience show. We talk about paranormal stuff, and then we also have an amazing show on with a amazing co-host that's called 12 Months of Horror, where we break down.
Oh, that sounds like a fun little
Yeah.
thing to tune into once a month,
Y- yes,
if I
and
say so
definitely check.
myself.
Yes, and definitely check into next month for we have an amazing St. Patty Day movie
Yes,
planned.
yes, we do. I cannot wait to talk about that. But we're not here to talk about that today.
No,
We are here to talk about DC, not DC, Maryland and Virginia horror. DC is kind of in there too. They're just by default because they're in the middle.
exactly. It's a little small district right in between us.
It's
So
just a little small thing.
yeah.
So, Travis, tell me where you are from. What city are you representing today?
Well, I am from New Bern, North Carolina, but I have been living in the amazing city that's called Baltimore, Maryland for a long period of time now. So at this point, I'm a Baltimorean. I'm a Marylander. So I definitely
Yes,
wear that badge.
yes, be more. Love
Yes,
it.
be more Merlin,
Merle,
Merlin. Yeah, yes.
does that accent come with the side of Old Bay? That's the question.
Exactly. And don't forget your Doug, because they can't say dog here. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I, on the other hand, I'm kind of like you. It's like I was not born in Virginia. I was born in Milwaukee, but I've lived in Virginia for like 30 some years, my almost my whole life. So pretty much I'm from Virginia. I am representing Dale City, Virginia. That's
Whoop,
Nova,
whoop.
Northern Virginia. Yes. Just another thing for audience out there. There is a major difference between Virginia and Northern Virginia. We're not going to get into that today.
Money. Yes.
Oh yes. Yes. Money, 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 money.
Yes.
That's another conversation for another day. So when you think of horror movies connected to Maryland, what kind of vibe do you get?
So Maryland is an interesting state because there's a lot of money in Maryland. It's extremely expensive. I mean, it's actually it's right there comparable to New York and
Yeah.
other places. It's expensive, but there ain't a motherfucking thing to do in Maryland. Like besides a crappy beach, there's no reason. And the harbor, which is pretty much closed down now.
Yeah.
So it's a interesting grimy city that has money in it. So when it comes to Maryland horror, most Maryland horror have that grimy look to it. It has that dirty basement. Looks like somebody filmed it, and something's bad is going on. It doesn't have that high budget look to it at all.
I kind of agree. It's funny when I thinking of Maryland growing up from the Virginia side. we forget that Maryland is expensive. So for us, it's like, oh, Maryland, we never go there. But it's like,
Mhm.
no, actually, they're like right on par because we're neighbors.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got that government money. That's really what it
Yep.
is. Government money and government problems. For me, I completely agree with your take on the general Maryland vibes. Virginia is a little funny because it's on one hand, it's a major, like anytime you think of colonial anything, if it's not in New England, it's in Virginia because that's where America started. We got
Yeah.
Pocahontas down there. We got we got all these
Yeah.
Mount Vernon, George Washington,
Jamestown.
Jamestown. Yes, we have all of that. So on one hand, it's a colonial thing. On the other hand, it really just depends on what area you are in Virginia. If I'm thinking about horror movies, a lot of them, funnily enough, happen like in the western portion, like out in the woods. And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all are always doing this out in the woods somewhere in the mountains. Like, can you move this down to the other side to a city? Because a lot more people live there, I can guarantee you.
At least Richmond. I mean, let's do Richmond or Norfolk. I mean, at least let's do
Right,
those.
right. It's like those are huge places. Virginia Beach, that's like a million people right
Yes.
there. Like, so it's
Yes.
it's surprising seeing all these stories in like the backwoods. I don't know why they do that because again, it's Virginia is up there with money as well. What do you think about the DMV in terms of like, is it an interesting place for storytelling, or do you think there maybe are just other places are more interesting to have movies set in?
Well, I'm gonna talk about like I said, Richmond, like Baltimore. If you know anything about Baltimore, you know The Wire, Homicide.
Yes.
It is Murderland. It is Maryland Central. It's the capital of Maryland in this country. It is there's money, but there's a lot of crime and
Yeah.
drugs. I'm surprised has not been a horror movie that takes place in Baltimore. It
Yeah.
has this setting. You drive down Baltimore City at night, you see this
For,
random fog
first of
that
all,
comes
why are
out
you
of
driving in Baltimore at
I
night?
don't know. You're looking for a prostitute or drugs. But listen, but you see random fog just coming out of the streets, and it has this eerie look. And then you look to the right, and you see a random heroin addict nodding off. You see prostitutes all the place. It just has this grimy look to it that would be perfect for any horror villain to have his way.
Yeah. I would say the same level for Virginia. Again, it's like old time war central, Civil War mainly. And you would think
Mhm.
with as many people that had died in the Civil War, it started and ended in Virginia. That's a lot of ghosts right there.
A
That's a
lot.
ton of ghosts. And you don't really, I can't think of a Civil War movie that takes place in Virginia at all. So it's
No.
crazy that that's like not a thing.
The only
But
one I can think of, and it takes place in New Jersey, which I mean, you don't think of New Jersey in Civil War.
yeah, no, not at all. I'm like, were they even
Yeah.
involved? No. So let's get into specific movies. Would you like to start off with naming a few that are set in Maryland?
Well, the one that is iconic to me, and I'm showing my age, Celia. I'm 43. But I remember when I was in high school. I don't know if you remember this. This is before I had the internet, before I had a computer, but
Yes.
under the Stone Ages. There was on MTV, and you would see it on, there would be these advertisements and these commercials to this real life horror movie about this event about these college folk that would go in these fucking woods and they would show up missing.
Hmm.
And it was, I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was a real thing. Everybody thought it was real. Like this was something real.
Yes.
And this was a low budget indie movie that really blew up. And I'm talking about the Blair Witch Project, if you know what I'm talking about.
Of course. The Blair Witch takes place
It
in
is
Maryland.
it is the indie horror movie that like blew up that was made for like thirty
Yes.
thousand dollars and like made it was number two in the box office for the longest time, and it became you talk about found footage movies. That was the found footage movie. It was the
Yes.
movie that started it off. And I remember I was a teenager when that movie came on VHS. Yes, I'm saying VHS, not DVD.
Hey,
And I went,
I'm 91. I had VHS tapes. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
and I went to Walmart and I bought the Blair Witch Project. And I remember I had to house myself, which means no parents.
Yeah.
And but my little sister, she's upstairs sleeping. And I remember I popped in the Blair Witch Project, completely dark, and watched this movie, and it scared the shit out of me. It it terrified me. Watching it now, it's not as bad, but
Yeah.
it terrified me. And the reason why it terrified me, it was because they did such a good job with the unknown.
Yes.
Sometimes when it comes to horror, the less is better. The less you see, the less that you know is better. And I just remember that final scene when you see the character just standing in the damn corner.
Oh,
It was
yes.
eerie, so eerie. And that movie took place in a town that's called Burkittsville, Maryland. It's a little town. And I remember as soon as I got to Maryland, I was like, I'm going to Burkittsville, Maryland.
Oh, you went
The-
there.
yes. And you know the funny thing about it, that movie is not shot in fucking Burkittsville, Maryland. It's shot in Black Cherry, West Virginia. And
Well, I guess for tax reasons.
yes, and I actually went to Black Cherry, West Virginia, to go and
Oh,
find these
well, see,
woods,
there you go.
and this beautiful rain. By the way, they have this natural waterfall there too. Definitely check out Black. But there is a urban legend behind it that people go in these woods and they can't find their way out. It's a circle. So like it was interesting. That movie, I'm telling you, that movie scared the crap out of me. And because leading into it, I thought it was real. It
Yeah.
looked real. And there was no internet. Well, there was internet. My parents couldn't afford it,
It was
but
not the internet that it is today, for sure.
no, you couldn't research it. There was no Google that you
Yeah.
could research some, and there was no forums or blogs where people were saying, "Well, this movie is fake" or "This movie is crappy." There was no Rotten Tomatoes. There was none of that. You, yeah, you walked into this movie because you've seen all of these wanted posters all over the place. These advertisements that these kids were turning up missing,
Yeah.
and there was a documentary done about it. You literally thought it was a documentary.
Yeah, man, I miss those days when you can just like make up something and just run with it. Oh my God, those that campaign for Blair
It was
Witch,
amazing.
amazing. And like
Yes.
you could not do that today because people would are so quick to fact check, which is a good thing, but like oh, the mystery behind it is so great. You know what Maryland movie I like? There's two. There's two that I'm like, "Oh
Okay.
my God." So the first one is I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called The Bay. And it is I'm trying to
Okay.
remember what year. It's relatively recent, but it's like a mockumentary, and it's
Mhm.
about how all these chicken farms are dumping all the runoff into the Chesapeake. And that's like they're like these little bug things in the water, and they're like mutating and coming up on shore and like killing people and stuff. It's pretty
Oh,
good. I like it a lot. It's actually really well done, but it's right on the Chesapeake. It takes place in Maryland. That's like a huge thing there. That's like, oh yay, Maryland party.
yeah.
So there's the Bay, but another one that I didn't realize took place in Maryland, according to Wikipedia, it does, is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Have you seen that one?
I have. I did not know
Yes.
that this place in Maryland.
I didn't either. Wikipedia said, so if I'm wrong, it's not me, it's Wikipedia, but I don't, it's been a little bit since I've seen the movie, but I don't recall them saying it was in Maryland. So I'm like, where did they get that from? But either way, I'm like, wow, that's cool. Like movies that I actually know. Virginia, we have a few. There's Mama, which is very obviously I called that out when I watched it. They're talking about Clifton Forge and they throw out Richmond and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, Richmond. Somebody said Scary Movie 3 took place in Virginia. I have yet to confirm that, but maybe I'll have to go back and watch Scary Movie 3.
It might have been filmed in Virginia. I know they film a lot of horror movies. Like I
Yes.
know a lot of the Scream movies are filmed in North Carolina, but they take place in Maine or New England somewhere.
Yeah, which is crazy. Cherry Falls, that's definitely Virginia. And then I don't know if I can really count this one, but I'm gonna count it. The Purge, the first one. And I know the main movie took place in like California or something, but those beginning credits with the CCTV
Hmm.
footage from all these different cities, there was one, let me tell you, Travis, there was one piece of footage. It's like 5 seconds long, if that. That was it said you'll go through and you'll see, okay, Houston, wherever else, Phoenix. It said Dale City, Virginia. And oh my God, I
Oh,
was in the theater watching that when it came out. And let me tell you, the theater erupted. Everyone saw it. Everyone was like, oh my God, Dale City, Virginia. And it's so crazy to see that because, like, someone on that crew had to have been from Dale City or something. Because, like, why would you point out Dale City? Dale City is not small, but it's like it's surrounded by bigger cities. You have Arlington's right there, Alexandria,
Alexandria.
Richmond, even. Like,
Yep.
so to call it Dale City in particular, that is crazy. So for me, I will count The Purge as
On
taking
that,
place in Virginia.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Now, now, you and I, we're a huge fan of watching bad indie films.
Oh,
I'm going to give
yes.
you one to watch. It's streaming now on Tubi,
Oh, of
and it's
course
called
it is.
it is called The Legend of Paul Pry. And Paul Pry is apparently a little road that's somewhere in Bungfuck, Hampton, Virginia, or somewhere up in
In
that area.
Hampton. Oh my God.
It's
I
just
went to
like
Hampton
it's up in
University.
there.
Yes, Hampton.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I definitely have to look at this then. Oh my God. Okay.
And it is a black horror film with a black filmmaker, and it's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's bad, and it's
Oh
a
my
sequel
God.
too. It's a sequel
Oh,
too.
it's a
It's bad.
sequel. Oh
There,
no.
there's a there's two of them. So let's yes,
I
yes,
I will have to
definitely
watch
check
that.
that out.
We're gonna have to save that movie for our 12 months of horror. We're gonna have to save that one because I definitely need to watch it if it's like in and around Hampton Roads. I love it. I love it.
You're gonna recognize because I know that area pretty well. Hampton,
Hmm.
Norfolk, Newport News. I know that area pretty
Yes.
well. Been up and down. I'm gonna be in Williamsburg actually this weekend, and like I got to see a lot of places. I was like, I know where that's at. I know where that's at. So it's
Yeah.
definitely yes.
I love it. I love it. Growing up, did you have any kind of like think about movies and where they're set? And if they did happen to be in Maryland, you're like, oh, great. Because for me, like it didn't even cross my mind unless they outwardly said Virginia. It was like way over my head, not even thinking about it. What about you?
I didn't, but like I mean, ever since I started this channel, though, one of the things I have been is looking at where movies go, and I actually go to. I tried to go to a lot of the like I've been to the Letterface House in Austin, Texas. I've been to where it was shot. I've been to the Strangers, the original one, which is in Florence, South Carolina. I go to a lot of the places where the movies are set. I've done that a lot much when I'm older. But like now I'm fascinated on how many movies are made and places I've been.
Yeah, man, I gotta get like you. I gotta start doing that. I need more free time
Yeah.
first. More
Yes,
free time.
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough because they're all over the place. And it's like I would love to travel and go see all these places in real life, but like I got a job, I got a kid.
Yeah.
One
Trust
day.
me. I know
One
the
day.
struggle.
Oh
But you gotta
yes.
find time. You gotta find time to
You gotta
do.
make time.
Let's see. Yes, you gotta make time and find time.
Yes,
And
for
and and,
sure.
and because but like I tell anybody who's a horror fan, look at the city that you're going to or the city
Yes.
that you're in. and they trust me and believe there was a horror movie shot there. There's not a city in Westworld. Listen, it may not be Halloween, but it might be the Legend of Paul Pry. Who knows? It might
Right.
be something on a smaller.
Right. Never forget that there's a dummy amount of indie horror films that you've probably never even heard of that are definitely filmed in your area and maybe even in your on your own street for all you know,
Yes,
because there's filmmakers everywhere and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a big old box office box office movie to be filmed in your
now
area.
I'm gonna tell you a movie that takes place in Baltimore that was shot in Baltimore. This is a brand new movie, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Tubi Tuesday, which I did Tubi Tuesday movie, and it is called African American Psycho.
African
The
American Psycho.
Yes, it is. Imagine American Psycho, which we all love that movie,
Yes.
but it's P Diddy. Shot in Baltimore, takes place in Baltimore. Actually, it is amazing. Like it is cheese bad movie at its finest, and it takes place in Baltimore.
You just, man, I'm gonna have so many movies on my watch list. I'm not gonna know what to do with it. African American Psycho. That's the other thing is that while
Mhm.
we're still in February, this video won't be released until March, but we're still in February right now. It's Black History Month. There's a whole slew of films that both Maryland and DC can definitely do surrounding Black horror. Oh my goodness. P.
But
Diddy.
but do you know what, yes, but do you know what I love about the DMV though? There's a lot of black indie. I'm going to indie horror filmmakers in the DMV, and I actually did a top 5 recently on my channel. But it's a lot. And yes, let's make some black horror films. Let's make some black horror
Yes.
films with some actual real black characters that don't do shit that black people don't do. Come on,
Yes.
and I just feel like there's a lot of filmmakers who put black characters on, and a black character ain't is not going to go in the woods and check on some big monster is killing somebody. No.
Right, right. Like, let's make another The Blackening where it's actually
Yes,
like, no, I'm not running
exactly.
up the stairs. No, I'm not like doing all that. Are you kidding me? No. Please, we need more from everybody. More indie, more black horror, more DMV horror.
I
Now,
agree.
yes, question. Does DMV horror feel different than other places like West Coast horror or like Southern horror, Midwest horror?
Yes, I feel like it's not as mean spirited. So we can start going to the South. Their horror movies, or I say South, I'm including Texas and Kentucky
Yeah.
and all that. It's mean spirited horror. It's ultra violent. It's torture. It is not forgiving. Then you start going up to the Northeast. It becomes a little more friendly. It becomes a screams, and I put the
Yeah.
West Coast on that too. It becomes screams, stuff like that. When you start looking at the DMV, it is this grainy, disturbing horror. That's fun,
Yeah.
and it's not mean spirited, but it can still freak you out, but it doesn't have to have the over horror and things that you see in other areas. I'm about to say, what do you think if you could come up with a horror movie right now for Dell City, specifically for Dell City? Give me a premise.
Oh man, that's a good question for Dale City. Okay, so I'm trying to think. So the funny thing is, Dale City is kind of like I don't know exactly what you would call it. So if I it's kind of like a city within a city. If I were to go online and fill out like a form or something and I had to put my address in, sometimes if I put in Dale City, it'll revert to Woodbridge, which is like the
Mhm,
bigger outer city.
mhm.
So I don't know if there would be anything in Dale City necessarily, but for Woodbridge, I think it would probably, regardless on what is happening in the movie, it would have to take place around Potomac Mills, probably, because that's
Yeah,
where it is. So I don't know, some kind of mall related slasher or something, because that's really there's lots of stuff to do,
yeah.
but for me, I think it's because I don't live there currently. I'm thinking of, okay, if I went back home right now, where would I go? It's like I would go to the mall. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I think of the Potomac area. They do have a minor. I'm a sports fan, but I did see their Woodbridge minor leagues baseball team play. I can't think of the name off
Yeah,
the top of my head,
yeah.
and that was a fun time. But there's really not a whole lot to do. You definitely have to go to Alexandria or what's the other
Yes.
little town? What's the other little town that's right there? It's Alexandria, Arlington, Alexandria, and there's another little. Maybe it is Dale City where it has all the restaurants and stuff.
I mean, Dill City does have a lot of restaurant. You mean Tyson's is up there. You mean
Tyson's.
Tyson's?
No,
Tyson's Corner?
uh,
McLean?
there's
I'm
another
just naming
area. I
cities.
can't think of my head. Yes.
I mean, if I were to make a Northern Virginia horror though, it probably wouldn't be in Woodbridge. It'd probably be north of that. So I don't know, maybe likely like Old Town Alexandria, right by the water, because that's a good mix of coastline plus historical aspect, because it's all like
Hmm.
buildings from the 1700s. And it's really nice. And again, a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a
Oh,
zombie apocalypse movie at Dulles Airport? How about that?
oh my God, at Dulles, or better yet, some kind of catastrophe on the metro. Even better.
Oh, yes. Because there is a catastrophe already happening on the metro anyway.
Exactly. We're already halfway there. We're already halfway there. So I will say that the blue line generally is good. That's the one that I would take from time to time. But the red line, though, I ain't never taken that because that one always is messed up.
But I definitely invite anybody to go to since it's Black History Month. There is an amazing horror convention slash Comic Con that happens in Arlen, Virginia every year, and it's called Blurred Con. It is the Black
Yes.
Nerd Convention, and silly, if you want to see some crazy fucking shit, of course, us people, our people, have to gotta make the shit fucking outrageous crazy.
Of
But
course
listen,
you do.
but do not bring your kids there because there's going to be a lot of ass and titties and God knows
Hmm.
what at this convention. This is not a family friendly convention. But if you want a unique experience, definitely check out BlurCon in Arlington, Virginia. It happens every year. I
I
don't know what
haven't
happens
gone.
this year.
I've heard of it. I haven't gone though. One day I'll make it back for BlurCon because
Yes.
it sounds like a riot. I want to go.
Yes, I mean it is. Yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting. It's fun though, but I like to see Black people embrace into the nerd convention. And 'cause I remember when I was growing up, as I grew up in the hip hop era, which
Hmm.
if you were black, you had to be hip hop, you had to be thugged out, and
Yep.
I was a nerd deep down inside, and I had to hide that. And I'm loving that now, whether you're black, Asian, whatever, you can. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to like horror. It's okay to like comics and stuff like that. It's
For
okay.
sure, for sure. It's so funny you say that because I came across a reel a while back, a reel on Instagram that it was some guy was interviewing people at like an anime convention, and he asked this person what hot take he had about like any kind of anime, and this man, it was a black guy, dressed as some anime person. I don't remember because it's kind of an old reel, but he asked him what hot take he had, and he said if something about if slavery didn't happen or if something didn't happen, then black people would have invented anime first. And I'm like,
I can see that.
well, yeah, maybe actually we invented everything else now, didn't we? So
Yes, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And we're huge fans of it now. We're huge
oh
fans
yeah,
of
for sure.
everything, which I absolutely love.
For sure. I did not grow up. I grew up in the same time period. Hip hop is everything. It still is.
Mhm,
But I didn't really hide being a nerd. It just wasn't like put on the front burners as much as it is today.
mhm,
Today I'm just like a loud and proud horror, everything, scary, everything.
mhm.
It's just gotten easier, and I love that. I love that for us,
It is. Yes, I agree.
and a lot
I
more
agree.
people willing to accept it too, saying it's
Yes.
it's not weird. It's for everybody, and
And
there's
I'll
a
have to
story
be,
there for everybody too.
and I'll have to be called the, oh, you're the whitest black guy I ever met. I don't have to hear that in shit anymore. I just hate that shit.
I'm a little different because I'm mixed. So it's like, well,
That's
technically
true.
I
Yeah.
am technically I am the whitest black person. That's another story for another day.
Another story, yes.
Yes. So is there any last thing you want to say about the DMV horror movies and Maryland?
No, but I'm telling you, with the next year or two, there is going to be an amazing Baltimore horror movie that I am going to make. And it is going to be specific to Baltimore.
Do
And
it. Do it.
yes,
I fully support it. And
yes.
you guys, audience out there, should support it too. Support indie horror, support just regular horror, support
Mhm.
black horror, support DMV horror, everything.
Yes. And also support horror creators on social media like us as
Yes.
well.
Yes, please do because we're the people that are making these things for everybody else. So, for everyone else to enjoy. So, show your support where you can. And that's a wrap on DMV Horror. Thank you so much to Travis for coming to talk to me, representing Baltimore and me, Dale City. If you've got favorite horror movies from the DMV or from your own home state, let us know in the comments. Until next time, support local horror and stay spooky.